Welcome to this Killik Explains finance video. This week, how lifetime ISAs work. Now basically what have we got here? From the 6th of April we had a new savings product, the lifetime ISA. Seems like a new tax year, a new ISA arrives to add to the existing list. It shares certain features in common with a standard ISA, but not all of them, and some features with a personal pension, but not all of them. So it sits somewhere between the two, and that's where you need to be careful with this thing. So we'll take a look at some key facts. What makes it different to a standard ISA? What makes it different to a personal pension? And how would you go about choosing between them? Now the nuts and bolts. So why have the government done this? Why have we got yet another ISA product? Well, basically the government are hoping to help first-time property buyers. There's a bonus scheme here, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. Also encourage retirement saving, and they're trying to do two things through one vehicle, if you like, and it's an attempt to make saving more flexible. If you think this has simplified the saving landscape, you'd be mistaken. It's made it more complicated, and that's where you need to watch out, that you understand all of the rules attached to these new ISAs. Now, who can have one? Broadly speaking, to open one of these things, you need to be a UK resident, aged 18 to 40 at the point you try and open it. If you get it open by the age of 40, then you can carry on contributing right up to 50. And basically you can run this alongside an existing ISA, an existing personal pension, and so on. So it's not like you have to choose one of those products per year. This can run alongside some other ones. Now, key investment facts. This thing is like a standard ISA in the sense that it can hold cash, investments, or a mixture of the two. It can be held alongside a standard ISA, as I already mentioned. The government have increased recently the total ISA allowance for one tax year to £20,000 to take account of the fact that some people will want a ISA, but you don't have to have a ISA. And the account holder has to pay money in, but anybody could in theory contribute. And we'll look at why that's useful in just a moment. Now, how does this bonus work? A lot of people will be attracted by headlines saying there's a bonus here from the government, free money. But be careful. True, but be careful. So the basic deal is this. You put money in and it will attract a government bonus capped at a certain amount, coming up in just a moment. So the way it works is money goes in from you plus a bonus. All right, so in effect, they're offering 25% of the amount you invest. So if you put 80p in, they put 20p in, that becomes £1 invested, if you want to see it that way. Then, like with a standard ISA, you get tax-free growth on anything within the wrapper now that the ISA is set up. And at the other end, you can take your money out tax-free. But be careful, because the bonus comes with some strings attached. You can't take it out tax-free for any reason. There are strict conditions. Now, 25% of your investment capped at £1,000. I said there was a limit. So the most you can get from the government is £1,000 per year. And to get that, you'd have to contribute 4. All right? The maximum total bonus, therefore, based on what I said earlier, you can run this thing, if you like, between 18 and 50 in terms of contributions. Got to open it by the age of 40, is £32,000 if the rules don't change. Big caveat there. And it's paid monthly, except for the first year. Watch out for that one, 2017, 2018. The bonus will come at the end of the year, not accrued every month. Now, withdrawals. This bonus is money for nothing, but there are strings attached. And be careful, because people will be tempted to go, yeah, great, money from the government. Why wouldn't you want that? True, but watch out. So, if you're going to use this thing for a property purchase, there are strings. The property must be worth less than £450,000, whether it's in London or not. That's just one number this time, unlike the Help to Buy ISA. You need to be a first-time buyer to qualify, and that means you've never owned a property. If you're going to use this thing for property, the ISA must have been held for 12 months plus at the point you want to apply it, and the bonus is released on exchange of contracts, according to the latest guidance. Now, if you don't qualify, you could still open a lifetime ISA. You might be someone who's already got a property, so you can't use it for another property, but you could use it for retirement. So if that's you, it's accessible on your 60th birthday. A personal pension is accessible from 55, so watch out for that one. It can be taken as a lump sum or phased once you get there, and it's all tax-free, not just the first 25%, as would be the case with a personal pension cashed in at, say, 55 or 60. So you can see, could be a retirement vehicle, but not the same as a standard personal pension. Now, other withdrawals. So, outside of the property conditions, outside of retirement, outside of death and terminal illness, be very, very careful. Because the government will let you take your money out, but they reserve the right to basically ask for the bonus back, ask for any interest or growth that's accrued on it, and top that up with a 5% surcharge on top. So in effect, pulling your money out for the reasons I've not specified, if you like, will cost you 25% of the fund at the time you do it. And that's going to catch some people out if they're not au fait with the terms and conditions. Now, head to head, because a lot of people are saying, well, there's a standard ISA, there's this thing, there's a personal pension. How do I decide? These are all valid savings vehicles. Well, watch out. This wall of information looks worse than it is, if you like. So, some key things to think about. Minimum ages. So, across the board here, we've got 18 for a lifetime ISA, 18 for an adult ISA, 18 for a personal pension. But just be aware that there is a thing called the junior ISA and there is a thing called the junior personal pension or junior SIP, which actually brings that age restriction down a bit. Maximum ages, remember I said 40 to open a lifetime ISA, 50 if you want to pay in. Nothing on an ISA per se, you can carry on contributing for as long as you like. 75 on a personal pension if you want the government to give you tax relief on top. Then we get to this idea of bonuses. Just be a little bit careful here. So yes, with the ISA there is a bonus, but watch out, it's withdrawn under certain conditions. Okay, ISAs don't get a bonus, standard ISAs that is, and personal pensions don't get a bonus, but the yeses over here indicate that personal pensions get something else. They get tax relief at source, at both the basic rate of tax and higher rates of tax too. And that's pretty handy for a higher rate taxpayer, for example. There is a way they can make 60p become £1 invested. You can't do that with a lifetime ISA, and you can't do that with a standard ISA. So there's something to weigh up. As we move down here then, tax-free withdrawals. Yes, but only if you meet the terms of a ISA. Yes, under any circumstances with the standard ISA. First 25% only of the personal pension. So watch out, you're weighing up personal pensions versus ISAs. All these facts matter. If you're thinking this is sounding a bit complicated now, well, the government have made things a bit complicated. Early withdrawals, watch out, penalties apply if you don't meet the criteria. Yes on standard ISAs, not possible till you get to 55 on a standard personal pension. And then finally, down the bottom, a couple of things worth noting. Employers can make contributions into personal pensions, not ISAs or LISAs, and the maximum amount you can pay in each year varies according to the product. Now, just a few pointers. So who's going to want one of these things? In practice, what you're going to do is sit down and weigh it up pretty carefully. It's not a case of a blanket yes or no in most cases. So, first-time property buyers saving in cash. This thing could be useful, but you must meet the criteria I mentioned earlier. Parents and grandparents wanting to help younger family members. Yes, this could be a useful vehicle potentially. It's got the bonus attached to it. It's got conditions about when the money's used. All right, so maybe people who've got children, grandparents, grandchildren rolling out of junior ISAs, looking for something else, this might fit the bill. Some basic rate pension savers who want flexibility. So the problem with personal pensions is they lock your money up. You can only use it for retirement if you like. If you're thinking about property as well, maybe there's a place for a lifetime ISA. And for some higher rate pension savers. Not all, because you don't get higher rate relief through this LISA vehicle, but people who might breach the lifetime allowance, something I cover elsewhere, these things, LISAs, don't count towards it. So if you're pushing the boundaries there, maybe there's a place for one of these things. But you can see, it's not blanket coverage. It's not this is definitely great for everybody, far from. It needs weighing up, it needs careful consideration. Watch out for the penalty terms, remember those with LISAs, and also make sure you choose the right set of underlying assets. If you're saving up short-term for a property deposit, you're probably not going to be investing in stocks and shares, whereas if you're using this as your lifetime saving retirement vehicle, then you may be. Any questions? Lots covered there, editor@killik.com. And to see videos on some of the topics I just mentioned, including things like pensions and lifetime ISAs, please go to killik.com/learn.